Hi everybody, this is Aunt Samurai, and today I'm going to be reacting to Fate Strange Fake episode 11. But first, let's talk about episode 10. So, I think I'm all clear on what happened with Gilgamesh, Alcides, and Ishtar. So, the arrows that were shot at Gilgamesh and actually pierced through his armor, they were indeed from Alcides. Now, what exactly is in those arrows? I mean, Gilgamesh said it was Hydra poison, but then he said oh, I have plenty of that not plenty, but some of it in my vault. So I guess he was gonna use it to counter it. But then at that exact moment, Ishtar came in and she closed basically the gates of Babylon with the key that was left at the cave when Gilgamesh was summoned at the start of this series. But it's just the way that characters react and the things they say when it happens here, that it just made me think it was Ishtar who shot the arrows. Because for one, we didn't get any close-ups of Alcides doing it. And he said, oh, we have an interruption. So I assumed it was because she was the one to do it. But no, she just arrived. And she just wanted to gloat and show why Gilgamesh ended up like this. Is because he couldn't open the gates of Babylon to counter the arrows. So he's basically just out of noble phantasms to use if he doesn't have the key. Also, I was thinking, what's the beef with between Ishtar and Gilgamesh? And apparently she fell in love with Gilgamesh and proposed marriage to him. But he rejected her immediately because he knew her to be a witch who was unfaithful, cruel, and the corrupter of all men. She became furious, feeling that he had insulted her, and went to her father, the god Anu, to get revenge. She begged him to unleash the bull of heaven. So that's what it is. But yeah, and the thing with the cave, that I was like, oh, could this be also a mirror of something that happens in Gilgamesh's legend? But no, I was thinking of the moment of Gilgamesh finding an oasis of some sort, and him feeling joy for the first time in his life. Specifically after Enkidu had already died. And yeah. It was then that his carelessness caused it to be snatched away from him. Brought down by the desire, simple appetition of hunger, of a serpent that crawled the wilds. Yeah, I was also thinking of the snake. Yeah, the snake gained the property of shedding, having been the restoration of youth instead of immortality. And all that was left was its shed skin. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But okay. I think I got it, so yeah. But so it's Hydra poison, but also it's you know, the corruption from the Grail as well, right? That liquid that is dripping from Alkithis. But yeah, Gilgamesh didn't have anything to block the arrows, and he was too weakened to dodge the attack from Berserker. So, okay. I do, like, wonder, like, you know, what percent of Tina's reaction is her genuine care for Gilgamesh, but also like, oh, if Gilgamesh is gone, then all I've just sacrificed and just being told that I am supposed to do. You know, that I'm this representative of my people for freedom. It's all gone now. Could be, you know, half and half. Also, that there was a flashback at the beginning of the episode. It was super brief, but it was from Ayaka. And this mystery figure says, if you don't want to be devoured by Little Red Riding Hood, then you gotta participate in the Holy Grail War. And it's like, what does that mean? Because isn't Ayaka the Little Red Riding Hood? And then later on, we have Hansa asking Ayaka, like, what are you? Like, the amount of mana that you have is basically, you know, the kind that a top tier mage would have. But you don't know anything about magecraft. So what are you? And then, like, literally right after that, we get her, you know, seeing Gilgamesh, and we get those little flashes of what must be her past. And I think it's related to that question. What are you? And Kira saying, like, I have become curious about this thing's fate. Now, it's Kira, so he could just be, like, dehumanizing her even though she is human. But what if Ayaka is a homunculus? I don't think she is, but it's a possibility. But there's definitely something unique about her, for sure. Like, how did she end up at the Fuyuki church as, I'm guessing, a little kid? But of course her memory is muddy, so she just sees herself as Little Red Riding Hood. So yeah, I'm really curious about that. And just, I really want to keep seeing more of her dynamic with Richard. There's something really sweet about him being like seeing you depreciating yourself the way you do. It just makes me feel like I'm a failure of a heroic spirit. But I mean, you know, they just met. Ayaka's self-esteem is not gonna go up so easily and so fast. But I definitely appreciate the sentiment behind what he said. So when Dumas says to Flat, are you prepared to throw your life into a pot for your objective? I want to say that's both literal and figurative, since he does use magecraft to basically mix him and Jack. Yeah, mixing their presence. It is temporary, but he did say, like, let me get the exact words. What kind of side effects, yeah, the master will have after being stewed with a street slasher. But I believe Flat when he said, like, you know, I. Well, it's not like he said, like, oh, that's not gonna do anything, but he just said, oh, is that it? And it could be like, oh, nothing is going to change, but it could also just be like, so if something does change within me, like, it doesn't really bother me, basically. If it uh, makes me closer to my goal and my ideals. Like, that's not a big price to pay to go through with this. And I just love how uh, confused and surprised Alcides is when he sees Flat putting his life on the line for this. Getting so close to him. And yeah, I really like how Flat and Jack have a very equal relationship. Flat will not hesitate at all to fight alongside his heroic spirit. He just, he treats him like he would anyone else. And I feel like that means a lot to Jack. And you can see it when Jack notices that Flat used a command spell to get him to safety. And also there's a moment in the fight where Jack is like talking to Alcides and he's like, well, actually, my master is. And then he doesn't get to finish the sentence. But I wonder what he would have said. Probably something about Flat's conviction. Also, yeah, John just gets back up again. And yeah, apparently it is because of Castor. But we'll see if we get a little bit more on how, but at the very least, I got it, that the implication was there. And it seems like he modified his hand. Not the one that he was missing, I don't think. Or I could be wrong. Now I'm like not sure which one is the one that he'd lost. But yeah, it almost looks like he straight up just gained a new hand, and now he can just use that one, and like weapons come out of it. Specifically, a poisoned weapon. But of course, that was not enough to take down Alcides, as it is a power created by humans and the earth. I'm trying to see if, like, they say this specific type of poison, but I'm not finding it. A Hydra's venom. Oh. So does he incorporate that into the arrows? So it came from John? Wait, maybe. Maybe. Okay, so let's get to a new episode. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah! Jester kind of like pulled everyone into like a black curtain. Yeah. Uh-huh. Why would he say that out loud? Oh. Okay, so these two are in her little reality marvel question mark? But maybe they can get through to her like this? And uh I'd almost forgotten this was the objective of this whole thing. It was that chaotic. Yeah. Just take some cover. Just a copycat. So, like, Jester used the mist to get them inside this dimension? Hmm. But hey, maybe him doing it will actually be beneficial for the people who want to help Tsubaki. Oh, another dream. Hmm. Oh, true. Hmm. It seems like he had a good mom. Ooh, stories. Yeah, it seems like uh, uh she influenced his love for King Arthur. Ah, why? Oh. Hmm. Hmm? Yeah. So he's able to get flustered. Eh? Oh. Oh, no, they're so sweet. Just the animation was so good, and for what? Hmm? Who? Oh, from the police. Right. Yo, can you explain a little? Okay. That's vague, but fair. Oh, yeah. Oh. So everyone got absorbed there. I thought it was just. Okay. If you're talking about Ishtar, she's not a servant. Oh, oh man. I see. Hmm. Oh, please. Yeah, how is she here? How? Doll. Ayaka? Oh, Weaver. That's a little mean. Uh, I'm sorry, I can't. The combat outfits of the maids, not maids. Uh, you know, I think they're called the quartet. They're so unserious. Oh, huh. Mm. Oh, so Orlando didn't get absorbed into it. And Castor. Oh, well. I like how dramatic he is. Defeat, huh? A bounded field. Not a reality marble. Oh. Richard. Uh, yep. Oh. All right. Ayaka? Oh. No. Oh my god, this too. Oh. How much did she remember? Oh, you gotta be kidding. Hey, nope. Huh? What? Wait. Hmm. A clone? Could be. Since I take you, I got no eye. Take you one more thing. Start a night. Since I take you, I got no eye. Since I take you, no eye. 繊細的な愛All right. So the let's call her original Ayaka, the one that flat and waver no. She has black hair. So why does our Ayaka have blonde hair? Because, like, now that I think about it, I didn't question, like, oh, she's Japanese, so why is she blonde? When, literally in Fate, the main series, we have characters like Shiro and Sakura with, like, red and purple hair, so, like, it's whatever. But I think it's gonna be a relevant point for her design that she is blonde. Though they both have the blue eyes. Okay, so like the the past or rather, the story about her past that we found out through, like, you know, telling it to us as if it was a ghost story. Is that OG Ayaka's past? Or does it just relate to our Ayaka? Oh man. So, like, what type of clone is she? Is she like a puppet? Like, the type that... Oh my, I forget her name. But the woman from Kara no Kyokai is able to put souls into dolls, basically. I don't know why I'm asking. Is that like we're gonna get the answer? Well, actually, maybe. I don't know how long we'll have to wait for the answers on that. But hey, you know, I like to try and speculate. So, yeah. I think the flashback that Ayaka saw of Richard, of him being basically like, I'm just way too good at everything if I try. No matter what skill I take up, I master it immediately. Is it better if I go easy on them and pretend as if I'm not adept at anything? But it really does seem like he stopped thinking that way once he grew up. Probably the more and more he got betrayed, the more and more he participated in wars. But I think that's relevant to the scene we get later, when Richard basically says, are you all ready? Do you have the resolve to kill a little girl if it comes to it? And well, just the fact alone that most of them couldn't really answer without hesitating, and gave Richard his answer. Though Vera seemed to be braced. You know, she says, I braced myself for that possibility. But everyone else doesn't really seem as prepared. And that expression when Richard says, I couldn't be the knight that I adored, that hurts me. Because we all know how Artoria felt about the way that she ruled. In fact, she felt quite similarly in regards to the people hate me. I was a failure because of how good of a king I was. You know? I let my subordinates rely way too much on me. To the point that, you know, it was just, they felt too inadequate to be beside me. as we see with the way she reacted in the fight against Lancelot. Though I would have to rewatch it. But I think he says, right? Something along the lines of like he doesn't regret to have served as a knight of the Round Table. No matter what, Saber was a worthy king to follow. But like, you know, the rebellion still happened. So Saber only pointed at herself to blame for it. So yeah, I feel like, you know, Richard putting King Arthur in a pedestal is not helping him in regards to how he sees himself. Because, like, bro, if you met your hero, you'd realize she's not, you know, she had her own problems too. And she also was willing to do things if the situation required it. You know, things that were unknightly. Yeah, just the fact that he was willing to take on that burden with a smile on his face, and he just assumes that Clan Calatin must be the kind that will protect the innocent. Like, you don't know them, you can't say that. But I feel like he does it as a way to make them feel better, putting on this big responsibility on him. Oh man, that, like, painting, when he says, like, once you basically, after doing that once, pulling the trigger becomes easier. Oh, that's, oof, heavy. But it's also just a really bad mindset to have. Like, yeah, sure, if you've done something bad, the more you keep doing it, you'll keep, you know, the hesitation there will be less and less. But just because it's like that doesn't mean you have to keep doing it. Like, he doesn't want anyone else with that kind of conscience. But man, it's just, it's sad seeing him try and make light of his own feelings just to make everyone else feel at ease. But yeah, he's just like, well, my sins are already so heavy enough to carry. What is one more to the pile? I also felt bad for the little girl, Tsubaki. We don't know the full context, but based on her words, saying, I'll do a proper job, I'm sorry, I'll endure it better. Like, I don't think her parents are good parents. For one, they're mages, and they seem to be like, you know, regular mages that put that as their priority instead of parenting. So I think they were very close to breaking her so that she could be a really good mage, and they could live vicariously through her. I also really like the conversation between Orlando and Dumas, of just Orlando not like understanding, like, why are you going so far? I'm not ordering you to do this. Which is like, for one, why aren't you? Considering, like, he very much clearly cares about Clan Calatin. Considering that he was, panicking when he was telling them to retreat. But here he's just putting up a front to try and gauge casters and motivations. I'm not exactly sure though what Dumas means when he said, if you're the one that set your foot in, don't be so rushed to say that it's over. I guess just basically like, exactly what he's saying. Basically like, if you're the one who started this whole thing, participating in the Holy Grail and having this group of people following you into it, then don't give up. Don't be the first one to give up when you don't even know if they're still trying. And so with that in mind, it makes a lot of sense that I feel like this is the first time that Orlando saying, like, I'm sorry, or my apologies, is truly genuine. Yeah, the reason for why he's doing this, he sees it as a extension of the request for creating weapons, providing a power in order to fight. And he's just very invested in being part of this story that Orlando has put him in. They're all central characters in my piece now. And they're acting out the most supreme of his scenarios. You just want to have front row seats to watch. I like his theatrics. You can tell he loves a good story, and that means the world to him. And Orlando is providing him a really good one. Lastly, that scene between Tina and Enkidu was nice. It's interesting that what she was thinking, like, even though she knows Enkidu is Gilgamesh's friend, she still asks, have you come to defeat the king? And are you here to pass judgment on me? So that makes me think that, I mean, that's pretty clear, right? That Tina feels responsible for what happened to him. Since she does say, like, I wasn't able to do anything. Yeah, I'm sorry. But, like, once again, like, is it because she cares this much over Gilgamesh? Or is it out of her own feelings of powerlessness that she just can't stand the way that he's right now? And, it's definitely, I feel like, a combination of multiple things. A regret of not being there to try and help him. Even though I don't think she could have done anything. It's not a rational emotion. She's just feeling frustrated that this heroic spirit who is here to protect her, she's not able to do the same thing for him. Especially as important as he is to her in regards to what he represents to the goals that she wants to achieve. But yeah, Enkidu's reason for not wanting to help him. Gil and I spent irreplaceable days together, an eternal farewell and the sadness that comes with it. I'm already done and over with. Basically, like, yeah, we've already lived our life, and we've already made peace with the fact that we've died, and we've parted ways. So if he was to die here, then so be it. Because we already had our share when we were alive. So that's an interesting perspective. Enkidu just feels very, a very enlightened individual. So I think it works with their characterization. Though they do say that Gilgamesh would be the same way. But I think it's gonna be it for this one. Let me know in the comments below if you have something to say or clarify. But until next time, see ya.